We often don't realize that we are the key to our own happiness, and that happiness starts with healing and transformation. Whether you need healing, guidance, clarity, understanding, or just some honest sister talk to feel connected, heard, and supported, you are welcome and safe here. So join the conversation and be healed. Welcome to Soul Healing Conversations with your host, Roz Kincaid.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's show. I am your host, Roz Kincaid, and you can connect with me at rozkincaid.com or at Soul Healing with Roz on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you guys are doing well and continuing to stay safe and aware. You know, these days, while we're social distancing, these days are a perfect time to really go within, do some self-care and do some soul searching. And hey, you know, if you don't want to do that and all you want to do is rest and sleep, well, do that. There's no judgment here, and you probably need to rest if you feel like that. So the point is to just listen to your inner guidance system and to just listen to your body, right? And we have plenty of time to do that right now. So let's get on it. I have another great show for y'all today, but before we get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Shine Coaching and Consulting. You guys make sure you check out Emily Stout at shinecoachingandconsulting.com to learn more about how you can work with her and how you can take your business to the next level, because she will definitely do that. Also, I want to say a special hello to my listeners all around the U.S., in China. I have some in Canada. We've got people listening in Ireland, Russia, and even Finland. I wish I could say hello in all those languages just to really connect with you all. But anyway, hi, guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all so much for your love and support to the show. I get these reports every week, and I'm always looking forward to seeing who's listening and from where. So it's really awesome to see that this show is reaching out globally to people. So let's keep it going. Spread the word about the show. Get it out there. So today, you guys, is the last day for my free distance Reiki giveaway, and I am giving away my last free distance Reiki session. And I'll be announcing that at the final winner at the end of today's show. So make sure you guys stick around and see if it's you, because it might just be you. And if you didn't win or didn't get a chance to enter, it's all good. We can still work together. Just go to my website, rozkincaid.com, and make sure you book a sesh. I got you. I'm here for you. So today is also the last week for my energy healing series, and I surely do hope you all have been enjoying it and have found some very valuable information that you can use well after this series is over. I know I'm going to be going back and listening, because there's a lot of key information in there that I could use myself. So to round out today's series, today I'm going to be talking all about vibrational sound healing and vibrational sound therapy. And to join me in the conversation, I have a super, super special guest with me. She's the owner of Mindful Soul Wellness in Manassas, Virginia. She's the co-founder of the Manassas Mindful Co-op. Say that 3 times fast. She's a vibrational sound therapist. She's a Reiki master teacher, a past life regression therapist, and she's also a hypnotist. Yeah. Most of all, you guys, she's my friend. And she and I started down this road as healers together. Please welcome to the show, Tracey Renee McKee, everybody. Hey, Tracey.
Hi, Roz. I'm so happy to be here. This is so exciting. And yes, we have been on quite the journey together, haven't we?
Yes, girl. Yes, we have. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you agreed to do this with me and to continue this journey with me. How you doing? How's everything going? You good?
I'm good. And I just want to say I'm honored to be here on the show. It's so needed right now. And you really are the perfect person for this. You have such an amazing voice. And it really is a humbling, honoring experience to be part of this with you and to share this and have this platform. So thank you.
Thank you. So let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So you did a nice job of the all the checks in the boxes there.
I tried to get it all. I know there's so much more though.
Yeah, we are all so much more. I wear a lot of hats, but yeah, ultimately I feel I am an intuitive healer, much like you, a light worker, an energy worker. And I am very, very, very attracted and resonate with sound healing. Mm-hmm. I love it so much. A bit of my background I'll include. My undergrad was in religious studies. It's kind of what started this for me. I was very attracted to the Eastern traditions. My master's was in education, elementary education. I taught for 8 years, mostly third grade. And a few years ago, and you know this story, a few years ago, almost, I guess it was 3.5 years ago, my grandmother passed. It was a very hard time in my life. And it was a catalyst for change. I was teaching in the public schools and I loved teaching. And by the way, I'm sure everybody knows right now what an essential worker teachers are.
Yeah, because my baby needs to get on back.
Right, exactly. They work their butts off, and I loved it, but I was also very stressed. I was not in balance. Yeah. And that was the last year that I taught. That year my grandmother passed away. It was the first week of school. It was really trying. And it was time for me to do something different that allowed me to have balance in my life, because I was stressed to the max, lots of anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so I did. I left teaching, and through a lot of different avenues, I found my way into that Reiki class with you when we started that Reiki class together.
Who's the chick with the curls sitting across from me, directly across from me too. No coincidence.
Right. That's right. And so that's brought me back kind of full circle to what I was studying in my undergrad days. And I loved it so much, and the energy work. And also during that time, I ended up with Lyme disease. Mm-hmm. And I had, there are different stages of Lyme disease, and I had chronic 4th stage Lyme disease. It was debilitating. You remember that. It was really, really difficult. I was very active, and within a matter of weeks, I was not. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of physical problems happening with me, extreme fatigue, brain fog. I wasn't able to articulate my words. I was forgetting lots of things. I'd have a conversation and 10 minutes later not remember what I just said.
Wow.
I was having tingling in my arms and my legs. I would lose feeling in them. Heart palpitations that I shouldn't have been having. It was really, really tough, and joint pain like I can't describe. And Lyme disease it's a struggle. And I kind of sat in a little pocket of depression for a while. I sat in that pocket, and it was really hard. And then, you start meeting a lot of other people when they're dealing with the same thing as you. And I kept hearing from other Lyme sufferers, be ready to deal with this your whole life. Doctors don't know a lot. They don't understand, and this is going to be terrible. And then I finally had this realization, wait a minute, I know better than this.
Yeah, come on now.
The body is able to heal itself. I know I can get myself out of this. And so I decided to do that. I made a decision. And part of that was I went to you. I was getting weekly Reiki sessions from you, because as much as self-Reiki is wonderful, it's not the same thing as going to a practitioner. Right. And so that helped. I started to see my chiropractor, weekly. And then I started saying aloud affirmations of what I knew my body was capable of doing. And that's that correlation with sound. The most sacred sound in the universe is our voice. It has nothing to do if you can hold a pitch or a tone or sing. It's just your voice. It is sacred. And I would say every day out loud, not just in my head, I am healthy, I am strong, I am Lyme free. And I would visualize myself doing the things that I wanted to do again, swimming and hiking and being to go up and down the stairs, to be honest.
I remember it was a struggle for you to even be able to do that. And I remember you talking about, swimming and doing a lot of the affirmations every time you would come see me. I mean, it was working, but it wasn't working by itself. The Reiki wasn't working alone. It had to be all of those things that you were doing with the affirmations, staying mobile, seeking out other types of, holistic approaches that really, I remember bringing you back to square, and I just want to chime in and say about the whole opening up your mouth and speaking what it is you want in your life is a very, very powerful tool. Just like you, Tracey, I've been speaking similar things about myself, about my family, and I thank God no one in my household has been afflicted with the COVID-19 virus. And I believe it's because of what we say, what I've been saying out of my mouth and what I've been saying in my heart and in my mind. So I just wanted to, connect on that and say that works.
And it does work because we know that thoughts are energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we give sound to them
Yes.
and we say it out loud, we've now put those thoughts into action. So sound is very powerful. And so around the time that I went to go get my training. So I'm a licensed certified vibrational sound therapist, licensed and trained through the Vibrational Sound Association. It was right about a month after I'd gotten the clear that the Lyme was no longer in my body.
Wow.
I had a clear blood test, my MRI, my brain was clear, and I knew it. I knew that I had healed from it, had cured from it. However, the body is a biological organism, so it does take time to recuperate, to rehabilitate. So I was still seeing my physical therapist, still getting Reiki, doing all of these other things.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went for my training for the sound therapy, and it is what has kept me healed.
Wow.
It has kept me healed. The sound from the bowls, which we're going to talk into more of that. But I wanted to just touch on something really quickly. Sound, and this is where sound healing really is so fascinating to me, especially how it's come full circle for me personally with my studies in religion in my undergrad days. But the power of sound is the creative force in the universe. Every single religion or tradition that we are aware of started with sound. Think about this. Think about in Christianity, in the New Testament, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God.
Mm-hmm.
In the Old Testament, the first act of God was, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. In Tibetan Buddhism, the world was recreated every moment with thoughts and sounds. That's how their world was created and their religious traditions. In the Hopi legends, the Spider Woman sang the song of creation that brought life to all inanimate forms on the planet. In the Vedas, that's Hinduism. In the beginning was Brahman, and with whom was the Word, and the Word was Brahman. All of these traditions all start with sound. Mayan traditions, the first men and women were created solely through sound. In ancient Egypt, the god Thoth would think of an object, speak its name, and it came into its being.
Wow.
In the Kabbalah, an object and its true name are identical. It can't be without its name being spoken. And even in the gods and goddesses in Far East and Indian traditions, they would blow conch shells or hit giant gongs, bringing the universe into creation. And that's just a few of the many hundreds of different religious traditions. The universe was always created with sound.
Always. From the beginning, it started with a note, a sound, a vibration, because that's really what sound is. It's a vibration. It's energy.
Exactly. And we were talking about this a little bit before the show. We were talking about, you had brought up Pythagoras, which I love that you did that. I mean, that's 2,500 years ago that he was around, and he was that mathematician and the theologian, and he was the one who stated that each celestial body, every atom, everything has a vibration, has a sound. And he was actually the first person to prescribe music as medicine.
Really?
Yes, he was the first person to prescribe it as medicine. And he kind of put forward this theory that different musical modes or modalities or sounds would have an impact on people who hear them. And so he taught that if it was used correctly, that music can bring the soul into harmony. It can purify the mind, and it can heal the physical body. And I, for one, am a walking, talking, breathing example of that, of a combination of different modalities, different energetic modalities, sound being a very major one for me. So if you know anything about Lyme, it's something that can come back and really it flares up, right?
Okay.
Much like a lot of things like fibromyalgia and lupus. These things have flare-ups. Right?
I was going to say lupus because I was thinking that in my mind that vibrational sound therapy can help with flare-ups. So just kind of help to maintain or do maintenance with the symptoms.
I haven't had anything with this Lyme come back. And, it was 2017. It dawned on me, oh my gosh, it's been 3 years.
Wow.
And since I've had to deal with this. Or almost 3 years. I guess it's been about 2.5. And the sound healing has been a major component of maintaining my body at a higher vibration, because things that bring our body's vibration down into a denser vibration are illnesses and as well as emotional things like stress. And even this COVID-19, that's a lower vibration.
Yeah,
it is
disease.
It is disease, disorder. It's dis-ease in the body. And so sound healing has kept my vibration higher. It's kept me healthier on all levels of mine, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual.
And that is why I encourage people to, there's all types of artists on Instagram, on social media, putting out music and doing live concerts. And, I don't think people realize, and I hope after they hear this show, I hope they realize how important it is to plug into that stuff. Turn on some music. It don't have to necessarily be the Himalayan bowls that we'll talk more about later, but get some sound moving to create a shift in your energy, to pull your vibration up out of the lower, denser vibration that feels so heavy, that feels like a yoke, really. At least to me, it does. Turn on some music, put some sound on.
Exactly. How many times have you been, sitting down or in a stressful moment or whatever, and a song comes on and you resonated with it so deeply? Maybe it was one from when you were a teenager and you're like, oh, I remember that song. And all of a sudden you're filled with joy and you're singing those lyrics, and it hits you in a way that is so strong that words can't even really express it fully. Music to me is the melody of our souls, and it connects us on so many different levels. And it's a language that we all understand,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we are going to be coming up on a break in just a few seconds here, but I want to, when we come back after the break, I want to continue this conversation on vibrational sound therapy and just how sound can heal. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You have a passion, and from that passion, you've created a business. But how do you market and grow that business? Hi, I'm Emily of Shine Coaching and Consulting. I specialize in brand identity, website design, marketing consulting, and business coaching. I create a visual expression of my clients' ideas and help them develop a business strategy to meet their goals. Connect with me today at shinecoachingandconsulting.com. Be inspired, be real, be you.
The Voice America Live Events channel is here now to showcase your corporate, individual, or organization's live event. Visit voiceamerica.com/live events to see all of our past live events and find out more. Whether it's a multi-day conference, special speaker, or single-day event, we've got everything to make your event a success. We can do a few hours or a few days. For more information about taking your event to the next level, call Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or email info@voiceamerica.com. Again, that's Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or send us an email to info@voiceamerica.com. Voice America is where you are and where you want to be. Join us around the globe as we broadcast live from some of the most interesting events available. Don't forget to view all our live events, including on-demand access to past events that you may have missed by visiting voiceamerica.com/live events.
Stimulating talk
gets those synapses in the brain firing really fast.
All the time. The #1 internet talk station where your opinion counts. VoiceAmerica.com.
You
You are tuned in to Soul Healing Conversations. If you would like to reach Roz Kincaid or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You may also send an email to hello@rozkincaid.com. Now, back to Soul Healing Conversations.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Roz Kincaid, and you are listening to Soul Healing Conversations. You can connect with me at rozkincaid.com or at Soul Healing with Roz on Facebook and Instagram. I am here today with vibrational sound therapist Tracey McKee, and we are talking about vibrational sound therapy. So before the break, Tracey, you were talking about how sound is able to really lift our vibration, lift us up. And during the break, you and I actually shared with you that I had watched the Clark Sisters movie not too long ago. And for those of you that don't know, the Clark Sisters are a pretty popular female gospel group who they sing like angels. And Tracey, when I tell you that every time I hear these women sing or anybody hit a note like they do, it does something in my body. It does something in my energy that tends to just break away any heaviness that I'm feeling. It causes what it does is it causes a release, an emotional release in me. And I don't know. I know why that is, but it's so powerful. And I say that to say that what Tracey is saying, you guys, is so on point. Yes. Sound, not noise, but sound is so key and so effective in switching our energy and switching our thoughts and switching our perspective, and because it pulls our energy up out of whatever heaviness that is on us. So yeah.
Exactly. It lifts your vibration. It really higher your vibration, and which is the perfect word, right? Because we all vibrate. So different frequencies of sound manipulate the human consciousness, and it can even induce altered consciousness. And think about this. This has been around for thousands of years. Think about our native cultures, our native Indian cultures. Mm-hmm. What do? They beat drums.
Right.
They beat drums because they know that melodic beating of the drum, the rhythmic beating of the drum takes us out of whatever we're in. And I love the word, the heaviness, the denser vibration. It brings us up, and it brings us up even higher to where we can shift our consciousness, change our brain waves and what they currently are. And it's not only just hearing the sound, it is the vibration of it. Sound is sound waves, right? They travel. Mm-hmm. They travel. And you think about placing, if you think about a pond and you throw a little rock in it, what happens? You see that ripple effect of it hitting the water.
Right.
Well, think about our bodies. Our bodies are 75, 80% water, something like that, depending on what you read. Well, the same thing happens with sound. When sound hits our body or vibrations hit our body, it is impacting the water in our body, the fluids in our body, and it is rippling out into our tissues, into our organs. So what are you listening to? How is it impacting you? There's something called cymatics, where we use sound and see how it affects something else, and it makes beautiful formations in mandalas. Like with water, you can put different sounds to it, and it forms these beautiful mathematical visual mandalas, depending on what type of music you use.
Interesting.
It is really fascinating. And the same thing is happening with us within our bodies, and not just our physical bodies, but of course our energetic bodies, our biofields, right? Because we know that our auric layers extend beyond us for feet.
Right.
And so it's impacting us all around. All the different sounds that we're hearing are really impacting us.
So let me switch gears just a little bit, so that people can get an idea of when they do decide to have a session with you or whomever is in their area. What is an actual vibrational sound therapy session like with you?
Absolutely. Yes. So when you come in, much like any other energetic session like Reiki, you're clothed. Clothes stay on.
It does.
So you come in and you lay on the healing table, and I have bowls. I use about 3, sometimes 4 bowls, and these bowls are specifically designed and made. They're therapeutic grade, meaning they're specifically designed for the vibrational quality and the specific tones for the body, because they're being placed on the body at different areas around the body and around. So on the body and around the body. So I follow somewhat. There's certainly a protocol, much like with Reiki, there are certain hand placements, but you don't have to follow that. It's somewhat intuitive as well. But I place the bowls on the body and around the body, and there's what we call a measured strike. So I'm striking, between 1 and 2 bowls at a time at kind of like the same pace between each bowl. And there's several reasons for this. So you have the bowls on your body, you feel them, you feel the vibrations, and your body hears the tones. And I don't play music all the time with this. Most of the time I don't play music, because all you need to do is hear the tones. And there's something that happens. There's several things that happen. One, it's called brainwave entrainment. Not entertainment, but entrainment.
Right.
And much like the wavelengths of vibration of sound, or vibrations that produce sound, our brains also produce its own unique brain waves. And this brainwave entrainment is what happens is our brain entrains to the sounds and the vibrations around us. So usually when we're all operating our everyday life, we're at what we call our beta, right? Beta brainwave. We're awake, we're alert. That's what we're using right now as we're having this discussion. But those brain waves, if you think of a wave, of a sound wave, they're pretty fast, right? There's not a lot of, it's not slowed down. It's much quicker. But we want to bring those brain waves down lower. And so by striking the bowls on the body at a really nice rhythmic, slow pace, the brain says, "Ooh, what's that?" And your body's feeling it, and it hears the tones of the body. And by slowing that rhythm down for between the bowls, the brain starts to slow down to that same rhythm. So it entrains to that same rhythm. It like follows it. It's being led by the bowls. And it starts to go into those alpha brain wavelengths that we so want and desperately need, which is that relaxed, calm. You're not really thinking about everything you have to think about. You're just calm.
Yes, that happy place.
That happy place. And there's, and from a physiological standpoint, there's something in our brain, you've probably heard it, and this is very much talked about in the realms of sound healing, is the vagus nerve. It's the 10th cranial nerve. And this vagus nerve runs from our brain through our face, through our thorax and our chest, all the way down to our abdomen. And it is responsible. It affects our voice, our breathing, our heart rate, and our digestion.
Oh.
It affects a lot of systems in the body. So when we can entrain the brain to go to alpha, where we're relaxed, and we're starting even into theta, where we get into deep relaxation.
Right.
We are activating that vagus nerve to calm down all those systems in our body. We have essentially activated the parasympathetic nervous system in the body, which is our rest and digest. Right? Usually we're running off of our sympathetic nervous system. That's our fight or flight or freeze, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, we are constantly pumping out too much cortisol in our body.
That's right.
Stress hormone. And it's there for a reason. I mean, we just haven't quite evolved with the way society has evolved. Our body is meant to have the adrenaline when it needs it, when there's a real danger. Back in caveman days, if we were being chased by that saber-toothed tiger, that adrenaline starts going.
Right, you need it then.
We need it then. And then we get to safety, and guess what? We begin to relax again. Unfortunately, that's not how our lives are anymore. there's always a saber-toothed tiger chasing us. It's finances, it's our job, it's traffic, it's grief, it's relationships, it's social media, it's media. And especially with what's going on in the world right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, my goodness, are we stressed out?
I got a couple of tigers chasing me.
You've got a whole pack, right?
Yes, it feels like it.
Pack. And so we are constantly inflamed. Our bodies are inflamed. We're pushing out all this stress hormones. Cortisone's the number one stress killer, right? Stress kills. It just does. We know this.
Yeah.
So what vibrational sound therapy does with the bowls on the body, and the whole session is me moving the bowls around the body and on the body at different places, from your chest down to your abdomen, to different parts of your leg, your back, above your head, below your feet, your arms, your hands, different places, in a very slow, rhythmic pace.
Now, Tracey, when you talk about that slow, rhythmic pace, are you talking about the time or the interval between which you strike one bowl and strike another? Is that what you mean?
Yes, it's a measured strike technique. And thank you for asking that so we can clarify. So I'm striking a certain, between one bowl and the next. So you don't want to go where you're all over the place, because then the brain can't entrain to that. It can't start to slow down and relax.
Got it.
But if I'm all over the place and just striking at any old, I'm going to strike this one, and 3 seconds later strike the next one, and 10 seconds later strike the next one, and then I'm going to get louder and then lower, the brain's not going to be able to, start to relax. It needs to be very rhythmic, and it becomes quite rhythmic, and it's beautiful. And because sound waves travel, I'm receiving as well. So I get quite into the relaxation mode. It's wonderful.
Look at you.
Yeah. So, but this is what else that happens. We talked about the vagus nerve. And so it activates that in a way where it starts to hit all those other systems, your voice, your breathing, your heart rate, your digestion. So now we're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. So guess what we get to start pumping out now? No more cortisol. Now we get to pump out serotonin. That's your mood hormone.
Feel good hormone.
The feel good hormone. Oxytocin. That's what they call the love hormone. Gotta love it, right? You're loving your body. You're gifting yourself the gift of healing, right? Of self-healing. Dopamine, that's happiness. And of course, melatonin for sleep. So all those wonderful, beautiful hormones that we have that are natural are now being released. And what do we know that the body does when it's relaxed? It begins to self-heal. All those processes within the body that are automatic begin to start working. And not only that, you begin to have a clarity in your mind, because your mind is no longer distracted by all the outside stressors.
Now you get tigers.
Right, exactly. All those saber-toothed tigers are like gone. You get to just relax and be. And that's what a session is putting the bowls around. And it is really effective. I have some amazing examples. One of them I want to share. I have a client who came to me, he had Parkinson's, and he was at his wit's end. Now, this is a neurological disorder that, there's no cure for yet. They have medicines that you can help manage it. And he said, someone recommended Reiki, and he came to me and I said, I'd love to do Reiki with you. May I also do some vibrational sound therapy? He says, I'll do whatever. And I primarily started with Reiki just to calm him down and make him feel comfortable. But then I went right into the bowls. Within 10 minutes, that man stopped. There were no tremors. And I don't know if you've ever known anyone with Parkinson's or seen it, but the tremors are underneath in the skin. It's almost alien-like. Everything stopped, and he was still. Because I was prepared for bowls to go flying, because sometimes people, they twitch and a bowl moves, and you have to be ready for that. It's going to be entertaining for me sometimes.
Catching bowls.
Get the bowls. But I was ready for that, and he was still the entire time. And when that session was over, he got up, and he sat up, and he started crying, and he looked at me, and he goes, I haven't been still in 10 years, and we had this moment. And he followed up with me a few weeks later, and I said, I'm curious, how long did you feel really good? He says, I didn't have tremors for 3 days.
What?
For 3 days. And he was
that's significance. That's significance for somebody that has Parkinson's disease.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's just one of many stories. I mean, I have people who come in who have ports because they have cancer or different things, and it really aids in their healing process. It really helps to just relax. When the muscles are relaxed, the blood slows down and everything can flow. Then chi, right? Our energy in us can start flowing.
So let me ask you this, because you talked about and even in my sessions with you, we kind of do a little bit of Reiki and some VST, vibrational sound therapy. Can you talk real quick before we go to break here in a few about how other modalities such as Reiki can help with vibrational sound therapy? What's the benefit in coupling a couple of modalities?
Yeah. It's all benefit, right? It's all energy work. I do have to say, vibrational sound therapy on its own is as effective as it can. It's just as effective as if you put Reiki with it or not.
Right.
It works perfectly on its own, beautifully. But because I'm a Reiki master practitioner and teacher, I don't even have to think about it. I'm already using Reiki because, as we know, and I'm sure, and this was discussed during that first program that you had with Reiki, Reiki's a way of life. When you're in somebody's energy, I can't help but have that be part of it and be channeling that universal life force energy. So I just see it as an enhancement. It's a way of, I'm not necessarily using any hand placements for Reiki when I'm using the bowls for VST. But it's certainly there because the energy goes through my heart chakra, right? Or through my hands and through the bowl. So if anything, it's just an added, enhanced way of healing. Yeah. So it doesn't take away from it. I just think anything, it adds to it. It's not going to, harm because the intent is there for healing, right? It's all about intent.
So as all of you heard, Tracey, as she was going through her ordeal with Lyme disease, you heard her mention that she used multiple modalities to heal, not just vibrational sound therapy, which, as she just said, can stand on its own as an amazing healing technique, but she used Reiki, she used chiropractical care. Tracey, I don't know if you did acupuncture, but I'm pretty sure acupuncture would be a good fit or a good pairing with vibrational sound therapy. Would you?
Absolutely. And actually that we do incorporate that. I have a bowl it's called a VibraPoint bowl. So it's not a bowl that goes onto you. It has a stem with a point so that we can use it specifically with acupressure, with the acupressure points around the body. And so we do have that through the Vibrational Sound Association. Yes. Nice. So it has, you're already there, Roz. You're already thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it already.
We're already doing it.
So listen, we have another quick break coming up. When we come back, Tracey and I will finish up our conversation on vibrational sound therapy. And I'm also going to announce the final winner of my distance Reiki giveaway. So you guys don't move. We're coming right back after this break.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You have a passion, and from that passion, you've created a business. But how do you market and grow that business? Hi, I'm Emily of Shine Coaching and Consulting. I specialize in brand identity, website design, marketing consulting, and business coaching. I create a visual expression of my clients' ideas and help them develop a business strategy to meet their goals. Connect with me today at shinecoachingandconsulting.com. Be inspired, be real, be you.
Follow the Voice America Variety channel on Twitter. Our hosts always have something to say, and we know that you do too. We tweet on today's hot topics, and you're welcome to follow us. Speak up and join in at Voice AM Variety. That's at Voice AM Variety. Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
You are tuned in to Soul Healing Conversations. If you would like to reach Roz Kincaid or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You may also send an email to hello@rozkincaid.com. Now, back to Soul Healing Conversations.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Roz Kincaid, and if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, please do feel free to connect with me at rozkincaid.com and book a session with me. I would love to help you. I'd love to support you in any way that I can. We are back with my guest, Tracey McKee, talking all about vibrational sound therapy. But before we jump back into the conversation, Tracey, can you share with my listeners how they can connect with you and if you got any events or any specials you got going on?
Absolutely, yes. So first is my website, mindfulsoulwellness.com, spelled all together like that. My email is there. It's Tracey, Tracey. I'm real picky about that E in there. Tracey.
It's a different vibe when you take that E out.
That's right. Tracey, Tracey at mindfulsoulwellness.com. Also on Instagram, mindfulsoulwellness.com or Mindful Soul Wellness. And of course on Facebook, and that's at Tracey Renee McKee. But you can also, you can just find me on Facebook, Tracey McKee, and I'm there. And I am offering a few things right now with everything that's going on. And because I so miss sharing bowls with people, I'm actually doing free, private, mini sound healing sessions. Of course, it can't be put on the body because wouldn't that be cool if we could figure that out through the computer? But it's essentially like a mini private sound bath concert. And I got to do one for you last week.
Yes, I needed it so bad. It was awesome.
And so it's really only 15 minutes and we get together through Zoom and I play the bowls for you and then we're done. And it's just a way to provide sound healing in a different way. And this I'm doing free through the end of May. And so there's no special code for this. You just have to email me and contact me and we will set that up. I'm doing as many as I can as people contact me and we set it up based on your schedule. I'm also offering a spring discount right now. So if you just use the code SPRING20, or they can simply mention that they listen to the show and say Roz, and I will give them 20% off of any of my online virtual sessions, whether it's distance Reiki or past life regression, or I also have some interesting, I have a hypnosis service right now. It's soul hypnosis for optimal health, where we really go in and clear away physical and emotional and mental and your biofield and chakras, clearing it away and balancing it using your mind, the faculties that you already have. So
you already have the tools that you need to heal.
Right.
Already. Excellent. Right. Wonderful. So listen, I'm also gonna post your contact information as well as your specials on my social media site so that everybody can take advantage of those and jump on those, because this stuff is great. And if you're not incorporating vibrational sound therapy into your self-healing practice or your self-care practice, please seriously consider it. Tracey is awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So now, before the break, Tracey, we were talking about a lot of things.
I
know. so many things about how VST can kind of retrain your brain, which retrains or controls the hormonal responses in your body. But let's switch gears just a little bit and talk about some of the difference in effectiveness between low frequency sound and high frequency sound.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with different sounds, let's think about low frequency sounds for a minute. Those are the sounds that, for example, like a bass drum or thunder or a man's deeper voice, those lower kind of really soothing sounds.
You mean like a Barry White?
Yeah. Think about even just the running of a car. You know, when our kids were little and they were babies and we couldn't get them to sleep, so we took them on a car ride.
Yes.
That nice kind of melodic sound of the car,
Mm-hmm.
lower. Or how you might be trying to soothe your baby and you give it over to their dad or their grandfather who's got that nice, low, deep, soothing voice.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly you're like, why can't I do that? You know, there's something so soothing about that. And then we have our higher frequency sounds, like a whistle or a child's voice. They have those, boy, can they hit some notes, some kids, right? Woo! You know, a squirrel, you know, chirping, those kind of things. And those aren't bad. You know, they have their place because they're really good for kind of waking us up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we need that as well. But they can be a bit more sharp, you know, or triggering as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be careful how they use them. And so in terms of the bowls with vibrational sound therapy, and I should point out with the bowls, I'm using metal bowls. These are not crystal bowls. A lot of people have crystal bowls, but for the body, we want to really receive the most vibration that we can from the bowls. And although crystal bowls also vibrate because everything does, the metal bowls are much more tailored for being on the body.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask what the difference was. I don't know. Of course, the material is different, obviously.
Yes.
But I was curious to know what is the difference when you're using it in sound healing. Is one preferred or better than the other?
No, I really believe it's preference.
Mm-hmm.
It really is preference. You know, there might be a song that resonates with me and it's wonderful, and you listen to it and be like, yeah, not about that. You know,
right.
It really is preference. And I prefer the metal bowls. They resonate with me more, but I've been to sound baths where people have used crystal bowls and it's beautiful. Yeah. But those do have tend to have a higher frequency sound. And so it's how do you resonate with them? And they are beautiful. I don't want to give them a bad name. Crystal bowls are wonderful and very healing and really good at getting your vibrations super duper high. Really good with that. And when it comes to bowls, this is kind of the rule. The bigger the bowl and the thinner the bowl, the lower the sound you're going to get.
Oh.
And the smaller the bowl or the thicker the bowl, the higher sound you're going to get. And so that comes into play when it comes to vibrational sound therapy. You know, placement of bowls. You know, I want to be very careful if I have a bowl around, you know, closer to your head and your ears. I don't want it to be so sharp that it takes you out of that beautiful state of relaxation, right?
Right.
But it's not also a bad thing. So you really have sort of the training comes in, right? Where to place certain bowls and how to strike them. And there are different strikers for bowls too. For vibrational sound therapy, in the sessions that I use, we use a striker that has a very soft mallet. So it's not like wood hitting the rim of the bowl, which is a different sound. So different purposes. So I wouldn't ever say one's better than the other. They're just different. It's a time for everything, right? Different times for different things. So there's your difference between this lower frequencies and the higher frequencies. And I wanted to, mention something that I often explain about VST to the body.
Sure.
We know that everything vibrates. This is quantum mechanics. I am not that's about all I know when it comes to quantum mechanics, but I do understand that everything vibrates. Everything does in the universe, animate, inanimate, alive, what have you.
Right.
Same is even true about our body. Our bodies are an orchestra. Every tissue, fiber, organ, bone, cell has its own frequency, has its own sound wave. And when we are in sound health, isn't that funny that that's what we call that? There are no accidents.
Yeah.
When we are in sound health, then our orchestra is playing in beautiful harmony. Everything's the way it's supposed to be, right? But when there is some kind of dis-ease or disturbance to that harmony, that's where vibrational sound therapy comes in. And I always like to equate it to an orchestra. So it's like the conductor says, everybody stop. The flute player over there is on the wrong page. And you know what? The tuba player in the back isn't even in the same book that we're in. And someone over there with bass section, I don't know what they're doing, but they aren't even in the same room as us.
All out of tune.
All out of tune. And so what vibrational sound therapy does, it says, okay, everybody stop And then the conductor says, everybody get on the same page. And the conductor is you, right? Because we're really self-healing. I'm not healing anybody. Right. You're making the decision to give permission to allow yourself to receive the healing. Right.
That's right. Yep.
That's what's happening. Then the bowls start, and all of a sudden everybody's on the same page. And that's what it is. It's like starting the concert over. It's hitting the reset button.
It's like that. It's like right before they go into the piece, everybody plays that one note to get on key, on tune.
Exactly. They're tuning. Tuning. And this is what's really exciting about sound healing, is that it's really coming back into the forefront of Western medicine. There have been some really awesome studies being done where we are killing cancer with sound. Really? And this is how we're doing it. Not we, but collective we, right? This is what's happening is doctors are realizing, because we know that every cell in our body has its own frequency, its own resonance, its own sound wave. They are finding the cancer cells in our body, and they are mapping out its frequency. And instead of killing those cancer cells with chemotherapy and radiation, which what does that do? It kills all the cells, right? Which is why you get so sick. Instead, we are sending sound waves that match that frequency to kill it. It's that whole example of the opera singer who sings the frequency is so high that it breaks a window. Why? Because it's matched the frequency of that window's, resonance. And so it matched it and broke it. That's what's happening, what we're doing in medicine now. We're already using sound healing. That's what we do to break kidney stones. They send sound waves. It's what an MRI is. An MRI is a sound wave, to capture images. It's amazing where we can go with this.
Wow. That's awesome. It's growing. It's evolving. I'm so glad to hear that, our medical practices are starting to adopt a lot of these practices, especially sound therapy, sound healing, because I'm a witness. It works, y'all. Yeah. It works. If you've got anxiety, depression, or any other, I don't want to say a mental disorder, because I don't want to, just label people, but if you're struggling emotionally or mentally, vibrational sound therapy can really, really help. Yeah. So I'm here for it.
Relaxation breeds clarity.
Wow. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So listen, we've got a few minutes before we have to wrap today's show. As always, Tracey, I've enjoyed our conversation. Girl, I always love catching up with you. You've got so much knowledge and kind of help me see things a little more clearly.
Thank you.
And so I thank you so much for being on the show today and sharing all of your valuable knowledge and healing experiences with us. I'm so blessed to have started this journey with you, and it really, really does help to have a friend to walk this road with me.
It sure does. I'm blessed as well. Thank you so much.
Anytime, girl. So, all right, y'all, real quick. It is time for me to give away my last free distance Reiki session. And this week's winner is, drumroll, Letitia Avery. Congratulations, Letitia. Ma'am, you won. You won my last free distance Reiki healing session. And so, Letitia, I'm going to be contacting you soon to schedule your session. So keep an eye out. And so I also want to thank everybody who entered the contest. And as a consolation for those that entered but didn't win, I do want to do a collective distance Reiki energy healing for you all, because I want everybody to get something, especially now and during these times, because I know some people are struggling, whether they want to admit it or not. People are really having a hard time managing life and finding balance and, getting comfortable with this new normal. So any healing, anything that I can do to support the community, I'm going to do it. So you all who didn't win, I have something a little special for you. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining the conversation today. Let's keep it going on Facebook and Instagram at Soul Healing with Roz. You can also catch up with Tracey and keep the conversation going on her social media pages at Mindful Soul Wellness. Also, share your thoughts about today's show with us and your experiences with vibrational sound therapy. We would love to hear from you. I know I want to hear more from people who have experienced this, or even if you have questions, I'm sure Tracey would love to respond to any questions that you have about vibrational sound therapy and all the bowls and how it can benefit you in your life. Tracey, did you have any final thoughts that you want to share around VST?
I just want to remind everybody that the most sacred sound in the world is your voice, your personal voice, and use it. Use it.
There you go. Yeah. There's the word. You use your voice. If you can't find your voice, get you some Reiki and get your voice opened up. Get your throat opened up. Either of us will help you do that. So if you can't find your voice, turn on a song. If you can't find the song, go listen to the birds outside. They are chirping. Listen to the rain. Just do something. Do something to switch up the energy. It's going to really benefit you, everybody. So guess what, guys? I want you to join me next week for my next conversation about who is on your spirit team. I get a lot of questions in my sessions with my clients about who's giving the information and where the message is coming from. I'm going to break it all down and let you know who is talking and where they're coming from and what messages are coming from where. So do not miss it. So until next time, you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourself. Bye, everybody.
Thank you again for listening to Soul Healing Conversations. Please join Roz Kincaid again for another program next Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Variety Channel. We'll talk again next week.